that good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 228 of Boog Life, pitted with Action and Manny V. I'm Steve Jackson, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, my friend Manny Vargas. And let's get into it, brother.
All right, so I'm just going to give you a quick update on what we got going on with Cabo and a cool little thing that I got for the trip, and actually all my trips. But I'm going to start off with this. I got this in the mail. My friends over at Thrash Leashes or Thrash International, they make accessories. He knew I was going to Cabo with Roach and a pretty epic group of international riders, UK, Spain, 2 from Peru, Portugal. I got I think a couple from California. It's a solid crew. So Thrash sent me a few leashes. This one's already, wait, the pink one. Yeah, I guess this one is already going to Antonio Cervantes. He's going to be my assistant down there, and he will be getting that, which means there's 3 left. One is going to, sorry about that. One is going to be given away to a lucky winner at the end of the month for Boog Life patrons only. And this is kind of cool. So you'll notice this is the only one. He added a rail saver on this one. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder how that is going to work. But essentially, the rail saver is going to, like, instead of the leash pulling on the rope on the rail, if it happens, you got this little extra patch of nylon that will protect the rail if this leash extends over the rail. So that's going to be pretty interesting. The cuffs are pretty awesome, very grippy on the inside. Of course, the logo and the color schemes are always dope. So Jackson, as I mentioned, one is going to Antonio. And because you've been so good to me, which one would you like before it is given away?
Let me snatch the white leash.
Okay, there you go. So Jackson, that has your name on it. Actually, that's pretty freaking dope. Lucky dog. And one of these 2, probably this one. So this one's going to be the one that's going to be given away, just so I can test out that this rail saver. So this will be given out at the end of the month on our next show, I believe, or a couple shows from now. So this will be given out. So don't miss Pitted with Action and Manny V. The thing I did get for Cabo in all of my trips is this thing's pretty cool. Not the water. Hold on. This thing right here. It is the new DJI Mini 3 drone. It is freaking phenomenal. The Mini 2 is what I've had for about 1.5 years. But this guy is freaking insane. Night and day. One thing most important is avoidance system. Avoidance obstacle system is what this thing had, which I didn't have on the Mini 2. Front, back, and bottom sensors will let me get closer to the water without falling in the water. The Mini 2 didn't have that, so it could just drop in the water. I actually dropped one in the ocean when I hit a cliff and it fell down. And this is these sensors on the front and the back and the bottom are going to allow me to fly without worrying about hitting anything. It'll actually stop and brake, or it'll go around, whatever you choose. But yeah, this thing's pretty dope. 4K. This camera actually can shoot straight up and straight down. And also this camera switches into portrait mode when you want to shoot in portrait mode, because everybody's doing stories and reels now. So that feature is pretty dope too. So this thing is, I've been using it on my Epic Surf camps for the past couple weeks, and it's pretty dope. I can't wait to get Roach on drone footage down in Cabo. And yeah, so let me know, patrons, Boog Life patrons, let me know what you guys want from the Cabo trip. when in regards to showcasing Roach? Do you want like daily updates from Roach? Do you just want highlight footage from Roach? So let me know, and I'll dial that in and get it all set up before I head out. So that pretty much is the only few things I've been wanting to talk about or was going to talk about. And that's it. I know you had something pretty cool that I wasn't able to attend, and that was the Boogie Expo. I'm down to get the highlights. What happened?
Yeah, Bodyboard Expo 2022, presented by APB North America and hosted by St. Michael's by the Sea in Carlsbad, was a super fun time yesterday. I never got super busy, but there was a steady flow of young, old cruising through, checking out the vendors. Feedback thus far has been super positive. There's definitely some things I want to improve upon for next year, which, by the way, we are already in the process of working on Bodyboard Expo 2023.
Awesome.
And, obviously, we'll be able to announce a date when we have the permit in hand, but I plan on having the permit in hand 3 to 4 months in advance of next year's event. And we are looking at doubling the number of vendor spaces available. So you're looking at 32 vendors in July next year. And I'm really anxious to build this event. I can't say thank you enough. First and foremost to our event staff. They were generous enough to help out. I made sure they got paid for their time and efforts. The vendors, the event would not happen without the bodyboard companies. It was great having them there, and our keynote speakers were phenomenal. We had Jonathan Gabrielson talking about the California Bodyboarding Alliance tour and its plans for 2022 and beyond. Our second speaker was Matt Kitchen. He went through a rundown on competitive judging criteria.
Sick.
And then wrapping up the day, our final keynote speaker was Andy Girard, a friend of ours. He spoke about photography and the importance of a strong social media profile. And again, the feedback was super positive, and I can't wait for next year to build upon what we started this year.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, I would love to have heard all three of those keynote speakers. JG gives me the update on his on the tour. And so I get that information. It'd been cool to hear Matt Kitchen talk about the judging criteria. That should be something that is recorded and put out there so competitors would have a better understanding of, competitive bodyboarding. That would be some pretty interesting, and maybe we could help facilitate that and have a Zoom call and a Zoom meeting, and maybe bring him on Pitted next week so he can give us the lowdown on that and record it. And then Andy's keynote sounds pretty interesting too. What were some of the key points that he talked about?
Oh, he talked about, the evolution of social media. You even touched upon it earlier in this show, where everybody is doing stories and reels now. And, he was talking about the difference in the material you want to use for, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, where you're building yourself as a brand or you're strengthening your brand. And then stories and reels are more current, and he also talked about maintaining consistency and maintaining a certain level. So, people are actually engaging in what you're posting as opposed to just scrolling through onto the next.
Yeah, that sounds freaking right on point. Well, I'm stoked you guys everybody got to listen to him because he's got his social media pretty dialed in. But yeah, I mean, stoked. We had a great weekend in Baja, and now I'm just setting up for the next Epic Surf Camp for next week.
Now, I'd like to take one last opportunity to again thank APB North America for believing in this idea I had of making a one-day outdoor bodyboarding community networking program, the project, whatever you would like to call it. For years and years, especially back in the 90s, bodyboarding companies had a very strong presence at Surf Expo, not only in Orlando, but in San Diego as well. I don't believe the expo goes on in San Diego anymore. And the number of bodyboard companies attending the expo in Orlando seems to have diminished over the years. So I really had it in the back of my mind for the past year that I would like to be able to help create an event that is solely for bodyboard companies and companies looking to be involved in bodyboarding. And yesterday, we made it happen. Year one. I can't wait for year two. So again, thank you to APB North America for supporting the idea and helping to make it happen. And I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to St. Michael's by the Sea Episcopal Church in Carlsbad. They have been gracious enough to host us, and I appreciate their support.
I mean, finding a location seems to be the hardest thing to do nowadays at at a pretty decent budget. So when St. Michael's stepped in, I mean, awesome. So yeah, props to those guys.
All right. So unfortunately, this week I don't have a music spotlight, and I didn't have time to pick a video of the week.
Oh, good.
So we're just going to dive right into Sunday motivation. And it comes from a conversation from one of my staff members yesterday. Gianna Simonelli from eBodyboarding was cool enough to cruise down from Orange County and work as part of our staff yesterday. And the side conversation we had, plain and simple, there's enough people out there that just talk. If you want to make something happen, don't talk about it, do it. And with that, let's jump into the upcoming week and make some things happen, brother.
You got it. Right on. Thanks again, Jackson. And yeah, we'll see you guys next Sunday.
All right, brother. Until then,